Good afternoon, everyone. Today it's just past lunchtime in the New York session, and just wanted to do a friendly recap and follow up on the progress of a GBPJPY trade that we took the other day. If you'd like to know more and learn more about the trade setup and how we got into the trade and what I saw that prompted me to take the trade, please click the previous video. So in the last video, we were currently in profit, and we had price running around to this minus 27 level. Um, and we actually ended up moving our stop loss to break even. So this was a risk-free trade. We secured 75% of the trade at this level, and we let the remaining 25% run. We actually ended up later on trailing our stop to that minus 23 level, and we actually now see price eventually hit our overall final take profit at that minus 61.8 level, somewhere in the early London, or I'm sorry, yeah, London session, moving into the New York session. So that's that trade, a very successful trade. We'll take that win, and now we're gonna move on to another opportunity that I did see. I know I didn't mention that I was done for the week. I believe I took 5 trades. I try to keep it between 3 and 5 trades for the week. But I did see a really nice opportunity and just had to capitalize on the opportunity. So let's move on to USD CHF. We are on the hour chart. As you can tell, we are currently in profit. And as of right now, we actually just moved stop loss to break even about an hour or so ago, as we hit this previous high. And I'll jump down and break a full market analysis of what I saw. So first things first, I saw a inverted head and shoulders here as far as structure that prompted me to look for longs here. So if for those that don't know, that are maybe beginner, intermediate, so inverted head and shoulders, I look from this point down to this point, to this point, to this point, to this point, to this point. Saw some validity of rejection here on the lower time frames, which prompted me that price is going to complete this inverted head and shoulders and at least come to the neckline. And obviously, with our rules, we want to target the minus 27 and the minus 61.8. So we actually ended up targeting the minus 27, and I actually have my reasons why I did not want to take price all the way up to the minus 61.8, because I did see something higher of resistance on the higher time frame. The higher time frame is always stronger than the lower time frame. Remember that. So that was one, inverted head and shoulders. Two, we had this trend line, and then we had a price breakout of this trend line, and price came up and came back down and respected the trend line. So that's two. That was two confirmations. And then the third thing, we pulled out our fibs from this swing low to this swing high, and prompted us to the 61.8, which is one of the strongest Fibonacci levels, the golden ratio. And then we also pulled out our fib tricks for a additional confirmation for completing the move within the move, and it fell in the realm of the minus 27 and the minus 61.8. And previously, I did see price did come up above this 50 EMA, but then price came back down. But did notice, like I said, we were in that inverted head and shoulders, and I did actually find a very minor imbalance in the market, inefficiency, fair value gap right here, which I really like to see those. I feel really confident when I see these type of setups, and so I actually entered solely based off this final confirmation here, and did a very minimal stop loss of about what is it here, about 7.5, or I'm sorry, it was just outside the 78.6. It was about 11 pips or so. So that prompted almost a 1-to-5 risk to reward ratio based on the analysis of targeting that minus 27 as our final target. So let me go back up to the higher time frame to kind of give you a more thorough breakdown of what else I saw. I did see that market was actually trending in a downtrend previously. Obviously, we want to trade with the trend for market structure. We saw the lower lows, the lower highs. I didn't really count this. I counted the lower low here, but because technically this is the lower low, this would just be a low. And this all the way took this all the way down. Price came in a lower high, failed to make a lower low, just made a low. And this is where price began to shift. And this is where we had a shift in structure as we broke this previous lower high and made a new high. And then price came down and created a higher low. This region right here, it's a lot of noise, a lot of consolidation. I wouldn't say necessarily consolidation, it's just kind of choppy. So I measured this swing from this high, this swing to this swing, and that was my high to my now higher low. And with this analysis prompting to respect potentially maybe based on the daily time frame of making a or equaling this higher high, but the goal is to make a higher high over here. But for safe conservative trading, we're just going to target just below that. So yeah, with that being said, we are an upward trend, and price over here was just above the actually it was below the 50 EMA, but in the lower time frame it was above. So then we moved on to the daily chart, and as you can see, price is, if you look, it's kind of ranging. It's really not doing a whole lot, but it is below the 50 EMA. Let me zoom in here. I did see price was actually making lower lows and lower highs, but I did see this where over here price made a higher high at this region right here, or a high, because it broke this lower high and now created a new high and now made a higher low, which eventually we are targeting the, like I said, the equal of that high or the higher high. But the reason why I'm taking my target to the minus 27 is because, as you can see, price overall is trending always below this 50 EMA. So for me, with a lot of historical data, it's shown me that price is probably going to struggle at this area. For the sake of it being Thursday and Friday, the markets aren't really as my favorite time to trade. I like to trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the most part. I want to get in and out. So for me, that's pretty much my analysis right now on this trade. Like I said, 1 to 5, hoping to be out potentially Friday, tomorrow morning sometime. I did want to touch base on one other pair. I actually did not get in the trade. I was actually looking at NZD USD. I did see on the hour chart that price was trending downward historically, and then we have then later shifted to an uptrend if you look at this level zooming out. But also you can see that price is then trending, printing new higher highs and higher lows if we are looking at based off this level here. There was a shift here. So I actually drew the trend line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to get across as many weeks as possible, and then 6. So for here, I'm like, okay, where are we? And I really wasn't too comfortable with this trade, so I actually jumped up to the 4-hour chart and to see if I could find some better structure. And then I did notice some other things too. So for me, I decided to see where we were with the fib, and I pulled out my swing low to this swing high and noticed that we were in the realm of that 61.8, but also price came all the way down almost equal to this swing low right here. So for me, I'm like, you know what, I'm not taking this trade. I don't feel comfortable with that. And another reason too, I'll jump to the daily time frame. I did see that price is also trending downward on the daily chart. We are below the 50. There is some inefficiencies. Price could come up and respect this zone and very well continue in the downtrend. For me, I'd rather wait for price to come in this zone and short it with the trend, because if you look closely, if we pull out our fibs here, you can see that price that is right in that 61% golden zone. So for me, that's probably be when I will look to short the market, or in obviously confluence if it lines up with the trend line as well, depending on where we are. So yeah, so those are the three pairs for the remaining of the week. GBP JPY was for a win, um, and USD CHF currently in profit, in progress, and I will follow up next week and let everyone know. And that is all for today's video. If you are liking these videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.